Toronto this Black Friday. You can sleep in.
All over the region.
Retailers are calling this their
149,000 stores offering
Millions
sales
of dollars
in
in
the
cash sales changing hands starting on
Visit the stores. The flu season is off to its earliest
Appears
start.
to be a previously unknown variant of the 40, suspected case catching many experts off guard.
Today I was feeling like maybe I was...
Back on the breaking news, leading with unconfirmed reports of a smallpox
outbreak is a highly rehearsed scenario.
And National Guard units converging on a hospital in central
bridges are closed. It's smallpox is a very real danger.
More AIDS, more than a bull.
Not enough vaccines.
Let me stop you there. This is not a panic situation.
An entire American city
known as the green poison. Central Park has been converted to a mass burial ground.
Power outages, gas line leaks, fires. The government's
We're expecting another night of widespread looting.
People of New York are begging for
What would have
Our first responders are either dead
no resources available.
being treated like animals.
It's not our job. We're not trained for that.
When we were activated, we knew the situation was bad, worse than anyone knew. We are an elite, highly skilled group of embedded agents. They only call us when everything else has failed. We have no rules. We have no limits. Our job is to protect what remains.
We are your co-workers. We are your neighbors. We might even be your friends.
But when we get the call,
We leave everything behind.
we are
The Division.
Hey guys, what's going on? So I picked up the Division a little while ago. I've played a few hours worth on it. I've made a couple of different accounts. I've played with a few friends. I've played on my own, and so I thought I'd bring you guys a bit of a review about the game and tell you what I personally thought of the game. So first thing I'd like to say or speak about is the open world graphics. Now, you run around Manhattan through the city, running on the streets with all the debris and everything from the game that they've put in to give you a real broken down, burnt out city look, which they do quite well at. There is always debris everywhere. When it snows, it's really invisible. You really can only see probably, 5 meters in front of you, if that. It makes the game quite realistic and hard, because if you were out there in the snow, it'd be really hard to see past like 5 meters. So they do quite well at that. And with the graphics of the whole map consistently across everywhere is awesome. The only other games that compare at doing graphics for the whole map that well is like your Rockstar games, which is Grand Theft Auto mostly. They do a full city map and they do it well. So that's the only other really people that can compare to that. The downside of all those graphics is your character customization. Whether you go, there's male and female characters, whether you go the male or the female, it doesn't really matter how different you choose or make your person look. They're always going to look in the face and body quite similar to every other character in the game. The good thing is they do have loot, so as you go through mission and pick up the loots, you get new character customization clothing. So their clothing's a lot more, has a lot more variety than your actual person itself. So you can get beanies and you can get caps and sunglasses and all that sort of stuff, which makes it a little bit different, and it's good to sort of go, oh, check this out, I got this beanie, but use don't type thing. But it's still not as good as, say, Grand Theft Auto's customization, where you can really make your person different from everyone else's, and you can tell quite easily from a distance which ones your friends are and which ones your people you aren't playing with are. One major thing about the game is it is a complete online game. So they're an open world online campaign, which means that your single player mode, you will encounter other online players. You might even join up with other online players, but the main thing it means is that you can play the full campaign with all your friends, which is pretty awesome. So I had a bit of a go. It is the campaign just by myself. It wasn't overly hard or anything like that. It was just kind of boring and a lot to do. The missions took so long because it's made for you to be playing through with up to 4 people. Like you play, say, standard mission takes you about, I don't know, 10-15 minutes with, say, two or so people. But by yourself it takes like nearly double that. It's like 20-25 minutes to do a single mission. And of course it's not as fun. If you die, you're sort of out. Whereas if you've got a couple of people playing with you, you can revive, or you got your 30 seconds till someone can revive you, and then you die, and then you come back. And I think you got to wait 30 seconds as well there for you to respawn in, which is good because it keeps the game flowing. There's not, you can't beat this boss, so you just stop and start and restart and restart. So it's real good in that aspect. But yeah, if you're going to play it by yourself, you can invite other random online people and join other random online people, but it's nowhere near as fun as your friends. So that's one thing to sort of take into consideration. Another major thing is the bugs. Being a online game, there's always going to be bugs. I know I've spoke to some people that have fallen through the map just randomly running and stuff like that. But the servers, as of so far, go down at about 10:30 at night, I think, and they do bug fixes and all that sort of stuff overnight. So they're working on it. At least it's not a constant thing, like every person falls through the map when they run past this certain point at that speed type thing. So they're fixing it and they're working on it every single day. Another major thing is the gun attachments. So you can mod guns, put I think there's 5 different types of attachments, like your sights, your grips and that sort of stuff. And then within those there is like hundreds of different options that you can create. You can craft your own, which is an awesome thing. The customization of the guns is awesome. There's like your skins and stuff, which you get special skins from completing special things and stuff like that, which is cool as well. So the gun customization is awesome. So overall, I personally think the multiplayer aspect of it is really good, but the single player play by yourself is really bad. But you're not really buying it for playing by yourself, so there's that thing. The only downside about the multiplayer aspect, if you've got your account, which you can create multiple people on there, and say you're like level 10, and then one of your friends is a higher level, say like level 30, full level in the game, and he joins your game, that means all the enemies in your game are gonna be level 20. So it splits your level and his level, and then goes the dead set between, and that's what level everyone of your opponents is going to be, which makes things hard for you and quite easy for them. So they sort of run through and do the whole game, and you sort of die a lot. So that's one thing I don't really like about it. The other thing that I don't really like about it is the player collision is on, which means if you run head on to another player, you collide into each other. So you get people who are just in games to annoy other people. So say you want to go into the Dark Zone. The Dark Zone is an area where you can go and kill all other online people. It's like a open world free-for-all, I suppose, where you just die and then respawn. And same thing, it's got all your rankings and whatnot, your characters go in there and everything, so it's pretty fun. But if you get 2 or 3 people that are standing in front of the door, that means you can't get in. It's, yeah, as simple as that. So they could stand there as long as they like. They could leave their person there and then go have some lunch, and nobody can get through that door because the character collision's on. Which is, so it's, yeah, it's good but bad in that aspect. So that's one thing that kind of annoys me about the game, but fingers crossed you don't get a whole bunch of idiots that play like that. So yeah, so they're the few sort of things I thought I'd bring to you in this review. So overall, my opinion is I reckon the game is awesome. I'm loving the game. I'm loving the different levels in the campaign. How you go from like underground, you grapple down stuff, you go on rooftops, you go through buildings, you go in buildings, you go around buildings, all the different types of bosses you get, the different sort of strategies to defeating the bosses that they give you, sort of drop little hints. Like there was one boss I had that had jerry cans on his side, and if you shot out the jerry cans it'd blow him up and make a big explosion, which would do a lot more damage than shooting him would. And so little things like that I love about the game. Love being able to play the campaign with all your friends. Everyone can just join in lobbies and you can all go into the dark zone together and team up and sort of rally and take everyone out and all that sort of stuff. So I love it in all those aspects. Out of 10, I probably give the game a 7 out of 10. I'd rate it. To get it higher, I'd prefer a bit more character customization, bit more sort of freedom in that aspect. I'd like to see the your other players not affect the level of your opponents, like maybe them get their ranked enemies and you get your ranked enemies. I don't know how that'd work in the aspect of putting it into the game, but something like that along those lines, or maybe just having set rate enemies. Yeah, I personally really like the game. I've been playing it flat out. I've made like 3 characters. I'm just starting to adventure into the dark zone, but that's another thing. It's hard when you don't sort of have 4 or so people with you, because everyone sort of teams up in there and they all run at each other. So yeah, with that I'm slowly getting in there, and I haven't bet the game yet, but I'm slowly getting there as well. I'm really enjoying it, and personally, if you like online sort of free roam games, this is probably the best one out at the minute. Another thing, actually, a lot of people who have played Rainbow Six Siege say that they don't like the Division, and my opinion is that they're too close together. So the controls, the feel, the look, the customization, everything from your home base where you've got the 3 wings, your medical, your tech, and your security wing. Those are all so close to the Rainbow Six Siege's layout, set out, and all the codes that they use to actually write the game. So they can't sort of differentiate the two. So they choose to stick to one more so than the other. So that's one thing. If you talk to someone that's played a lot of Rainbow Six, they might give you a really bad rap on the Division, or vice versa. So that's one thing to keep in mind when looking at other people's reviews. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed the review. I hope it gives you a little bit to think about all the open world stuff and all the other players. Whether or not you play with a lot of friends or you play by yourself, that's another thing that I hope you take into consideration about before you buy the game. But yeah, if you like anything like that, or you're like me and thought the game was going to be awesome and had it sort of pre-ordered and bought it straight away, it's awesome. Yeah, I hope that helped you out a little bit. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up, give it a like or a subscribe even. Cheers. Later.